Good morning, everybody. Today's daily reading ready has to do with grandparents. We're actually going to be talking about Grandparents' Day. So before we get started, I wanted to just share my own grandparents with you. This is a picture of my mom's parents. So this is my Nana, and this is my Papa. And can you guess who that is in the middle? Check out that hair. That's me. Okay, I was probably about 18 months old in that picture. So I called my grandparents on my mom's side Nana and Papa because both of them had great grandparents themselves that all came from Italy in a ship. Isn't that crazy? They were immigrants from Italy. And in Italy, with my Italian roots, I've talked to you a lot about that, they call their grandparents Nana and Papa. Okay, so a little bit about that side of the family. Next, I have my dad's parents. This is Mama Jane and Papa Punk. Punk was not his real name, but it was his nickname, and so that's what we called him. Both of my grandparents died when I was relatively young, but I still have a few memories of each one. This one right here, Mama Jane, is my last living grandparent, and she lives in South Louisiana, and last summer we went and celebrated her 90th birthday. So I'm very thankful to still have a grandparent living. So I want you to respond in the comments today with your exit ticket response. What do you call your grandparents? I'm always interested. Names have gotten really creative over the years. On my side, my kids call my parents Lolly and Bop. It was supposed to be Lolly and Pop. Yeah. And Hank, when he was a baby, couldn't say that. He was the first grandkid, and he called him Bop with a B, so it stuck. Okay. On the other side, they have a Mimi. They have a Gran. They have one they just called Dave. They have a Ganny. They have a Gandad. Okay, so grandparents' names can get kind of interesting. All right, let's take a look at our passage. Before we get started, make sure you have your color coding. Blue and purple today are colors. Before I even get started with the passage, I want to talk to you a little bit about first and third person point of view. You've been working with this skill in Education Galaxy this week. Some of you are going berserk with Education Galaxy. You are earning Galaxy stars. I've noticed some of your avatars have changed. I want to tell you, way to go. Some people really haven't logged in yet and gotten started. That's okay, but I need you to do that. Okay, this is part of your practice. And Education Galaxy is a great instructional tool because of the videos it provides. All right, enough about that. What I want to take a look at, I want you to skim down to question 1 and look at choices C and D. In C, the third word, I want you to circle that word, omniscient. Omniscient. Okay? That is new. You know, first person has I, and third person is going to have he, she. But that word omniscient, that takes it up a level. And when you have a third person omniscient point of view, that means the narrator knows everything about all the characters. They know this one's thoughts and feelings. They know this one's thoughts and feelings. They know this one's thoughts and feelings. It's kind of rare. The majority of the time, look at D, you have third person limited, circled limited. Okay? So limited means there's a limit. All right, meaning third person limited, the narrator is only going to know one character's point of view. So I want you to keep that in mind as we read through this story. All right, so Grandparents' Day, it's a drama. I see that we have character taglines. We also have parentheses with stage directions. So you know I'm not going to read those parts, but you know they're there. And we know what purpose they serve because we've already talked about dramas. Grandparents' Day. Hope nervously fidgeted with her fingers as she waited to see if her grandparents would show up for her Grandparents' Day lunch. She had been looking forward to this for a while, but she wasn't even sure her mother had remembered to tell them. I sure hope my Nana and Pap remember to come eat lunch with me today. Hope isn't very optimistic. She nervously walks to the cafeteria. At the end of the hallway, she spots Nana and Pap. A huge smile crosses her face and she runs to give them a hug. All right, let's look at our questions. Number 1, the reader can tell that this selection is told in A, first person because the main character is telling her own story. All right, first person, we would have the pronoun what? You're right, I. I know you're right. Okay, so did we have I in our story? No, we can X that one out. B, third person because it is narrated by someone not involved in the story. Okay, well, we do have a narrator, but what about the part of Hope? Maybe on this one I want to put a question mark. C, third person omniscient because the narrator knows everything about all the characters. Okay, well, this is where this comes in. All right, so we know how Hope is feeling. She's nervously fidgeting with her fingers, waiting. She's not hopeful. She's not very optimistic. A huge smile. But we have two other characters in our story. We have Nana and Pap. Do we know how they're feeling? No. So that's going to rule out third person omniscient. So I'm going to cross out C. Let's take a look at D. Third person limited because the narrator's knowledge is restricted to one character's view or behavior. That's going to be our best answer. It's limited because we only know how Hope is feeling, but we do know how she's feeling. There's no I in the story, so the best answer is D. For my evidence in blue, I'm going to underline Hope nervously fidgeted with her fingers. I'm going to underline she had been looking forward to this for a while. I'm going to underline I sure hope. Okay, Hope isn't very optimistic. A huge smile crosses her face. All of those things are all about hope. All right. Number 2. Which meaning best matches the way the word spots is used in paragraph 3? Spot. Number 1. A particular place or point. 2. A small amount of something. 3. To notice or recognize. 4. Give or lend someone money. Okay, let's take a look at the sentence. I'm going to underline it in purple as I look. At the end of the hallway, she spots Nana and Pap. Okay, so a particular place or point. Okay, so look at the way it says she spots. Right there, what part of speech? How is the word spots being used? Is it a noun or a verb? That's going to help you out. It's a verb. So we can automatically rule out number 1, definition 1, and definition 2. Okay, 3, to notice or recognize, or to give or lend someone money. Is there money involved anywhere in this passage? No. She notices her grandparents. She recognizes them. That makes sense. The best answer is going to be C, meaning 3. All right, your exit ticket for today. Read the last sentence of the drama. What do you think will happen next? Write an ending to the story. Be sure to make it realistic and a fitting ending to what's happening in the play. All right, so make sure you're responding in the comments. So far, I've heard from Ava, I've heard from Mazette, I've heard from Mila, Gary. I know there's a few more. Reese. So I can't think of any more that I've heard of. Oh, Emily Brewer. So Emily Cosby. I need to hear from everybody. Okay, so remember, this is how I'm gauging your participation for this time where we're not in school. So this is where our grades and participation come in. So everybody participate, please. All right, thanks. Have a good one.